Hello, guys, and welcome to today's tropical update. We are in day number 1 of the National Hurricane Center. We have 183 days of the whole season in front of us, and we do have a developing El Nino, which, that'll be something for discussion for another time, probably after, we get done through this whole, Tropical Depression 2 system that we have in the Gulf of Mexico. So, let's check it out. Tropical Depression 2, this just been announced as the 5 p.m. update. And you're probably wondering, what happened to Tropical Depression 1? Well, let me tell you guys. What happened to that was, you remember the storm all the way up here near Newfoundland in the northeast coast? Well, that has since been designated on name tropical subtropical storm number 1, or AL01. And that's why it's all mixed up a little bit, as this is the the first main system of the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season, and where it's gonna just be it might be a little bit confusing going forward, but I will be here to help you guys along the way. Anyways, Tropical Depression 2. It has sustained winds of 30 knots, which is 35 miles per hour. Minimal central pressure at 1,007 millibars. Located at 28.0 north, 86.6 west, and it's moving west-northwest at a very slow pace at 2 miles an hour. So let's take a look at the cone here. And as you can see, it's not exactly a big cone. And the reason for that is it's going to start moving south here soon, and it's going to run right into the subtropical jet, and it's going to get ripped asunder. So it's not going to last very long. We could have a tropical storm that could last about 24 hours, and then that's it. So as you see, as you know, it might become a tropical storm here at 11 p.m. So that's probably what they're thinking here. Um, we're gonna have to see how that goes. The convection is waning right now, but there is a few convective bursts going on right now that could lead that rise to tropical storm status, which we'll take a look here in a little bit. So here by Saturday 1 a.m. it's down to a tropical depression, and it stays there for maybe a day before it becomes post tropical here at Sunday at 1 a.m. All right, here we go with this. We're gonna go here on the infrared here. And as you can see, yeah, some convection is starting to flare up here. It doesn't look that great right now because it's dealing with some dry air, but there is, it might be a lower shear environment, but that doesn't mean there isn't any shear whatsoever. There is some shear that's trying to get some dry air in there, and it did pretty well this morning, but now it's struggling a little bit. But like I said, convection is starting to fire up, and we'll see here in the next 4.5 hours if whether this convection sustains and grows, and we get a tropical storm out of it. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the GFS model. We got the close-up range here, so we can see exactly what's going on and the details of it. And right now we have 1,007 millibars here for the initialization. Let's take a look at the soundings here. Yeah, that's the shear is not too good, but hear me out here. Hear me out here. Uh, that's more at the upper levels where the shear is the highest. At the lower levels you're probably looking at 15 to 20 knots of shear, and that's pretty much where this system is at right now in the lower levels more than the upper levels. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I think I heard that somewhere, but I think that's what's going on is because this is not it's not a really high storm. It's not getting affected by the upper levels that much, and it's more getting so affected by the lower levels. So let's go 12 hours, 18 hours, 24 hours. It's still doing all right. It's still doing all right. And once we get to 48 hours, it goes kaput. So let's take a look at the 850 millibar vorticity here. And it's pretty decent here. That's a pretty decent vorticity. And you can see that these wind barbs are rotating around that vorticity. So that tells you that we have a tropical cyclone on our hands. So as we go forward, you can see that vorticity, it starts to weaken as it heads south. And the reason that this weakens is because of the subtropical jet. So that in this subtropical jet is going to be a main feature going forward throughout this year because of El Nino. But that is not to say that the Gulf of Mexico won't see slight periods of openness where something can't take advantage of and do what it does, just like tropical depression 2 here. So with that being said, just because it's El Nino doesn't mean you let your guard down. That's just facts of the matter. So we're going to take a look at the ECMWF, and we're going to go to the close range here, and it's just doing a little bit better convectively than the GFS. So we're going to take us down here, get a good decent check here. The shear is not as bad as the GFS here, and again, it's getting more affected from the lower levels than it is from the upper levels. So you got to take that into account. But as you see, the relative humidity is definitely a lot better than the GFSs. So that's why you see it more convectively active in some of these time frames. So we're gonna go out and see what it does, and it's pretty much the same fate as the GFS. It just poofs. So let's take a look at the vorticity signature on this, and it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. We head out through time. It tries to stick around, but as you can see, it just couldn't cut it. We're still probably going to be seeing a tropical cyclone for the next 60 hours or so, but its time as a tropical storm is only going to be in a window of about 24 hours. So it's going to have to take advantage of whatever good time it has left in order to be the best that it can be. Like, obviously, I don't expect land impacts, like tropical impacts, but there is going to be some rain coming from this for Cuba, Florida, so on and so forth. Just think of it as your typical, everyday rainstorm, but a longer duration rainstorm, so to speak. So take that as you may. All right, last thing we're going to check out is the sea surface temperatures here. And let's go to the Western Atlantic. Yeah, here we go. And right here, the L for this low pressure system is sitting right into the 26 and 27 degree isotherms here. And that is just enough to get some development out of this system. And that's what we're seeing here. We got tropical depression 2, but it looks like garbage right now. But that could change overnight as we head into DMAX. And thank God, it's not going to be able to hit this 28s, 27s with authority because that subtropical jet is shearing it all apart. So, with that being said, welcome to hurricane season. I'm going to be having videos every single day on this system until it dissipates, whether it's a land threat or not, because I like keeping you guys updated on the changes that may or may not occur with systems going forward, and particularly this one for the next 2 or 3 days. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again tomorrow.